did I even make that? So I did, oh,
Those circles, right?
yeah. So let's do that. Let's start out rather than a grid of squares. I think I did a grid of circles because we were fooling around with making a multi-wheel plate, and this is where I was like, oh yeah, I know how to make a grid like that. Let's do apply transform, and I'm gonna see if I can do. Yeah.
You can.
So if
You
I try to
can.
apply,
Yeah.
yeah, if I try to do it again, it's gonna throw a warning to me saying like, "Oh, you're gonna apply another instance of this," and that's exactly what I do. So I'm gonna apply a new effect and get 2 of those. And again, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna say, actually, I do not like being in inches, right? I do not work in inches. I like to work in pixels or points.
Why does
So
it
let's go
always
back to that.
default to that?
You know what? It's sticky to the file. So the file was actually in that, I think. There we go. Now I'm starting to see stuff. What did I say? I'm going to say 10, but I'm not going to do 10 that way. I'm going to do 10 horizontally. Make my grid again. Where are you? There we go. All right, so I'm going to make it 30 wide, and I'm going to make it 30 tall. But I should make a lot more. Let's say 8, and I'll go and do the other one, do the same thing, 8. Or maybe more than that even. Okay. Let's make some room. And I think what I did, right, was I think this effect was particularly good with a field of color on the back. But actually, maybe just for the sake of this, maybe I'll use white. I gotta unlock here.
Oh, the layer's locked.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm just gonna dump that layer actually. Okay, let's see what this looks like on white. So yeah, one of the things we were playing around with was what were we playing around with? Transform? How did I augment all of these?
Weren't you doing gradient? And then we did that script to randomize the size.
Yeah, we did. But first, what did we do? Oh, I think I messed around with this. Like, right? I made them all kind of elongated. And this is kind of one way that you can kind of like
oh yeah, they were kind of angled.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, I'm just changing the one, but all of them are affected because, again, this is just one object. And I kind of rotated these guys around. And yeah, I don't know, that's kind of turning out like a thing. But here's where the kind of fun little magic happens is that if I apply a gradient to these, then you start to get some funky effects. So I could also switch to the gradient annotator and kind of modify that a bit. And that's kind of interesting, but I thought, you know, rather than a linear gradient, let's switch to a radial gradient. And what if we just move this guy to be a highlight right at the tip? And I'm going to rotate this because I want to, oops, wrong handle. I want that to follow the contour of the tip so that way it kind of feels more round. Obviously, this is not a 3D rendering of something, but we can fake it. And I'm just going to drop that down, and also the point of origin. This needs to shift it. Okay, it needs to just fit the contour there a little bit. Okay, cool. So now the other thing that's nice about Illustrator is that you can change the point of origin of where that gradient is happening. And expand that out a little bit. Still fussing, getting there. Gosh, I wonder how I did it last time. I really liked, yeah, something like that. A little bit narrower. Is that getting there? Sort of?
I think so.
Okay, I don't know. We might cut this out of the video.
This is my favorite part. Whoa.
Whoa, what happened there? I accidentally grabbed the object.
Ooh.
What's going on? What is going on?
What was that?
I don't know. I thought I was making a... Oh, look at that. Oh, you know why? The appearance is sticky. So the appearance of the next object I make followed the appearance of the last one. And that's
Whoa.
just what happened. Yeah.
Wow.
And I think that's also determined by the file.
Wow.
So I just had to clear the appearance. I'm going to make a black background. And I'm going to send that back now. Now we get an effect, a little bit more of them emerging. Let's tweak this a little bit more like that, Billy. Okay, so I think then the other component was then to then apply, there we go. That's what I wanted, the shadow right at the bottom. Was to apply that script. So at this point then I need to expand this so that way it's not, we're not working with this, because what I want to do is to add them a little bit more randomization. So I'll go up to object and expand appearance. And once that's expanded, then they are in a group. And as I already demonstrated, you can't apply a script to grouped items. They should be ungrouped. So then I can go in here and there's an assortment of randomization kind of functions, which I think are really great. So so if I randomize rand resize is what I want. And I can go in here and say I want the minimum to be 80%. And I want the maximum to be, say, 110%. Maybe a little bit more. Let's maybe say 120%. And that'll randomly resize these in here. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I think you can introduce a little bit of organic, an organic feeling to the entire thing, and kind of create a more dynamic and would you say like a organic structure.
It would be cool if those scripts appeared in the appearance panel. I know that's a lot to ask.
Yeah.
Because then you could tweak, right? But you could tweak.
Seeing how Illustrator doesn't maintain any of them. Yeah, it's already like
I know.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that way they'd be live effects or things you could go back to and tweak a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.